Welcome back to another replay roundup episode, and once again, I am joined by the wonderful Mr. Keyhand. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Looking good, looking good. And today we have another wonderful 50B replay for you. And if you've been watching any of the comp stuff like What 7 recently, 50Bs have been popping off with their clips like quite a lot. So I'm looking forward to seeing this replay. What about yourself, Mr. Keyhand?
Definitely. 50B, one of my favorite tanks at tier 10. I simply love autoloader gameplay, mobile tanks. Semi-decent, I would say semi-decent to actually good gun handling. The pen is obviously there with the APCR, so I guess let's just straight up into it and see what we have today.
So, Himmelsdorf and Encounter, not something I see too often because I have Encounter turned off personally because, you know, just bad at the game, right? But immediately we see he's taking a decision to go towards the hill. There is a Kranwagen, a Chieftain, and a FaZe, and I believe also a Conqueror on the enemy team. So, you know, I'd be hesitant going to the hill with something that has very little armor. But we'll have to see how this goes.
Then again, you mentioned competitive. People in 50Bs most likely will go to the hill just because you can use the mobility to be there early. That is also the case against any of the tanks that you mentioned, simply because the 50B just has such good horsepower to weight ratio. Also, he did spawn from the southern part of the hill. By the way, Chieftain now getting spotted in the 8 line, so that's for the momentum non-factor, and him spawning in the south means that he can leave and get onto the hill unspotted, which is a huge advantage for the southern team when it comes to the hill, and we see him immediately doing that, going to the left and then probably going to get close to the castle, because that's what the 50B wants to do, right? Get in close and personal, get off your clip.
Indeed, and as you were mentioning, like pulling a hard left there as you come up, stay in the dip, stay in the low ground so you don't get proxy spotted by any mediums or lights or any fast tanks that decide to be extremely aggressive and go straight up to the middle. So he manages to get here unspotted, and oh, hello. It's an AE phase 1 round the corner, and slight misplay here where he misses a shot, I think, or like takes a hit in return, and now, you know, he knows he has the reload speed, he knows there's not enough tanks at the back to punish, so he puts in 2-3 shots and leaves the last one for the guard. Ooh, yeah, that shot.
That last shot on the guard, very well played. I have to say, I didn't like how he peeked into the face because he took one immediately, but then again, he made it up for it because he didn't take that fourth shot, because then it would have been 7.5 seconds, and the face shot a bit before that, so he would have taken a second one. So beautiful decision making. Also now, having the minimap awareness, turning around, seeing the IS-7 has just fired, and now tracks him there. Beautiful stuff. Just right through that track wheel. Brutal. That's what the 50B wants to do.
Indeed. You do not want to be caught, like, you know, side on or exposed to a 50B that's just fully reloaded a clip and is looking right in your direction. I don't know how I feel about that peak with the Kranwagen there as well, because that could have backfired very quickly had the Kranwagen got a tracking shot on him instead. You know, and then the IS-7 hits you, the Kranwagen puts 3 in you, and then all of a sudden your HP is not looking so healthy anymore. But, you know, you managed to make the right play. Again, this is something that a lot of people, like, you know, underestimate when you're playing in a position like this, is when you're getting pushed from the side, you need to respond to it. You can't ignore it, because if you ignore it, you end up with guns shooting you in the rear, and you don't want that. Now, we see him going for the cheeky turret cheek of the 703. He doesn't get it, but then he overpeaks for the phase, punishes the phase, and then does manage to get the 703 pen. But in return, he takes... Does he take more damage for it? It looks like he does. So I don't know how I feel about that. But now, once again, good decision making. He's realized that there's tanks coming up from behind on the other side of the hill, because of course they pushed through the banana. So now he's going to have to eventually turn around and deal with that. And we do see him like looking off there like often. He's trying to see if he can make a retreat or not, or if he should continue playing here. And I assume soon we will see him turn around for this. But for now, he's looking for overview on the middle. And there we go. He's decided to pull the trigger on dealing with... Is that a Progetto? It is a Progetto 66. And yeah, as we can see, he's also got a bunch of teammates. Yeah.
He's doing a very good job of analyzing the minimap and the reloads. Slight, I would say, snapshot here, but I guess the luck is with the fortunate. He does get a 3 out of 3 after missing the first shot. He would have liked to penetrate that fourth one, but the T-57 picks it up. And now, once again, he's left with a decision. The HP, as far as we can tell from the HP at the top, sort of even, but that also means that the battle by far is not won yet. The good thing is that the Kran is pretty low HP, so that is going to help on the hill, but after that, the battle is not going to become easier because there is still a lot of tanks on the lower side. The STRV not really able to overmatch with the 120mm gun, so we'll have to see. And now he takes a decision here to actually go onto the Kran, takes one by the 703, takes one by the Kran, does continue on, and for the time being it seems that the 703 is focusing on different things, and that guard did not see it coming.
Yeah, an unguarded guard, unfortunately. And of course, we see him playing towards the right side here in the 50B. Avoid the 703 shooting
Would have liked
again.
for him to go on the track shot, by the way.
Yeah. Using this little dirt mound as cover as he approached the 703 is actually like, you know, it's one of those small details that not a lot of players will realize, except the experienced players. It's like using every little bit of terrain to your advantage so you can close in while still having line of fire on other vehicles, and to reduce the amount of damage you take based on how many tanks can shoot back at you. You know, it shows how much situational awareness this guy actually has, and we're seeing that in the gameplay. Like, he's even come back all the way here to pick off this Type 4 Heavy who is just not having a good day right now, is he? Is just like, oh god, it's all over for me. No. Like, that's the last thing you want to be, a Type 4 Heavy going down a straight line with a 50B, unloading an entire clip into the back of your tank.
I mean, yeah, at that point in time, the Type 4 was sort of caught in the G line, but then again, you shouldn't go there if the enemy contests the hill. And now we can see that, the enemy Chieftain still on 1900 HP, so not a one clip. So a one shot into the Chieftain would actually go a huge way here, as then he would actually be on a one clip. And there we go. Beautiful track shot. Gets the second one in even. My goodness. Okay, the third one does not connect. Let's see about the fourth one. He didn't peek far enough. So I guess 2 out of 4 here on the Chieftain. That's why I said before, you really want to get in close and personal with your clip tanks, for example, also T-57. Then again, that was very important that he gets the Chieftain down to 1 clip. He still could take a shot in theory from him and then clip him out. We'll have to see how it goes, because the first foe on the menu is probably going to be that 703-2, and that one has 2 shots as well and should have 780 alpha. So yeah, with 711 HP, not really a trade you want to take.
Indeed. Now, you know, 2 shots into the Chieftain, I mean, sure, he could have probably got the other 2 shots in, but you know what, 2 free shots into a Chieftain and taking nothing in return, we take those trades. You could say maybe the Chieftain was just trading HP for intel, you know, just maybe we could say that. I know that's a common phrase of yours.
Doing the key hand.
But now we see, yep, now we see, you know, speaking of which, Chieftain's actually having a really good game on 7 kills. We see the ST1 or the STI, whatever you want to call it, watching the C0 approach. So our 50B has decided to come back here to watch the K1 approach or the K-line approach. And of course, if anyone tries to come up from the road above him here, he does have proxy spot on most of that, so he should also be able to see them, and then he just needs to pray that the ST1 manages to make it back in time to support him if anyone comes this way. Of course, he's going to be relatively quick enough to make it back towards the ST's position if the ST needs help instead. But now it's just a waiting game. The enemies have the advantage with 3 tanks to 2 and 1000 HP difference, so we'll have to see how this plays out. I mean, I know how this plays out, but you'll have to see.
I'll have to see, because I actually don't know. I haven't seen this replay before. Right now, obviously, in my opinion at least, the biggest threat in the enemy team would be the STRV-103B, because he cannot overmatch that one. He needs to get the side or basically get those cupola shots, which are very hard to pull off. However, the enemy at hand now, obviously that Chieftain here, and there is a way for both of them to... Oh my god, a bounce by the Chieftain. What am I watching? Alright, now the STI coming from above here. So the Chieftain actually turned his turret, and now he comes in with the auto-aim. Don't do that, but yeah, he does connect, so that's fine. The Chieftain does get 1 shot in, and the 50B is able to finish off the Chieftain. So I guess getting very lucky with that bounce on the turret, but sometimes you need to just get a bit lucky to win those games. And now the enemies have made a crucial mistake. 2 of them in the cap, and 2 of them remaining. Means he knows exactly where they are, but he's still on a 1 shot, so I expect for him to now maybe bait with the frontal hull or something, where they don't expect the 50B to have armor, something like that, because he has to come in, he has to approach. It's up to him right now, but we'll have to see.
To be fair, one of the opponents did come off the cap, so now they actually have 3 minutes to work with, which is a significant amount of time. I don't know about you, but whenever you're sitting in the cap circle in encounter alone and there's 3 minutes on the clock, it feels like a lifetime. It's a really slow process. It's the same as trying to cap on your own in frontline without engineering, right? It takes an eternity and it feels like you're extremely exposed, especially when all you have is one ally to cover you. So we'll have to see what the 50B decides to do here. Of course, being really cautious, but he knows he doesn't have all the time in the world. 3 minutes is a fair amount of time. It's just not enough time in some cases. So he's cutting straight across the courtyard, and now he needs to be really careful. I believe in the chat, we have sent it out right now. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. You can hear it and you can see it as well. But there's the 703, so we know the Sturv is probably covering. Now the question is he in the window or is he in the train station? And clearly he's not in the window. So the 50B is going to do something real risky and it's just going to drive out completely side on, which could have possibly been a mistake. But hey, I mean, you know what? High risk, high reward, I guess.
I'm also not sure how I feel about that because the STI was too far down in the 1-2 line to actually spot it. But yeah, he gets rewarded for that peak, and now it's only the STRV. And while the STRV is a great tank when it comes to just tearing your enemies apart with DPM, the problem right now is, for him at least, that basically he can't be sure to one-shot the STI. Actually, he's for sure not going to one-shot him on 613 HP.
Can you guess what happened to the Sturv, by the way? You're going to find out in a moment, can you?
Are you telling me you flip? Please don't tell me
no,
you flip.
No, that's definitely not what I said. By the way, I don't know how I feel about this. Like, this is a risky play
the SRB gets spotted. The SRB gets spotted, and oh my god. He is sort of close to a rubble, so...
yeah,
all right. He's lying on his side.
It's a bit of an anticlimactic ending, I gotta be honest with you, sir, but it is kind of hilarious to see. You hate it when it happens, but clearly what happened is the Sturv tried to go back to cover the 703 really fast, and, you know, there was a bit of a Monka steering, I guess, and he may have flipped on the mound. Unfortunate turn of events, but that puts our hero at 9k with 7 kills, so, you know, spectacular performance, you've got to say. I think he had a lot of situational awareness there. He was adjusting to every approach by the enemy and every opportunity he had to put a clip in. He used it. To be fair, a bit of shaky aim, I guess, a bit like myself and your alt account's username. But hey, let's take a look at the post-game stats, shall we?
Yeah, the post-game stats, so 9k damage, 7 kills. If you do that on Himmelsdorf in a 50B, that basically means that your situational awareness as well as your decision-making when it came to clipping out must have been almost impeccable. We do see him putting in 32, 29, 27, so with a gun like the 50B, that is a commendable effort. And also, I guess, medals high caliber and top gun. I mean, yeah, 7 kills, obviously, in high caliber. He didn't hit any eyelash, so with 9k damage, if you don't get a high caliber, something really weird must have happened in the battle. Overall, I just want to highlight that it was really, really well played, especially at the beginning when it came to those clips on the hill, and also when you could just see him thinking during those reloads. It's like, okay, this and that is happening on the minimap right now. That is the info that I have available. How do I get myself and my team the best shot at winning this game? So overall, very well played to Killator. Congratulations, and hopefully we'll see more from you soon, mate.
Indeed, he also got a mastery and a Hand of God, which, you know, with the Chieftain Ricochet on his turret, truly Hand of God there. But yeah, it was wonderful to watch, and honestly, as you said, seeing him flick his, you know, view left and right, watching every scenario unfold across the map and deciding where to go while he's on reload. Wonderful play, great situational awareness, and we love to see it, and we definitely want to see more of those replays. So if you have a replay you want us to watch, put replay roundup in the title when you upload it to What Replays, and we'll take a look at it when we get the chance, and we may even feature it on the episode, who knows. That being said, I'm Ixter, this is Keyhand. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed the content, and like the video. We'll see you in the next one.